All right. Oh, let's take a look at this story. It appears that a diocese, Catholic diocese in Italy, is establishing, get this, an exorcist hotline to deal with demand. This is the news article. Hi, deliver me from evil. Church sets up an exorcist hotline to deal with demand. The Catholic Church has established an exorcist hotline in Milan, its biggest diocese, to cope with demand. Monsignor Angelo Mascheroni, the diocese's chief exorcist since 1995, said the Curia had also appointed twice as many exorcists to cope with a doubling in the number of requests for help over 15 years. Now, I can just imagine a lot of these people saying to themselves, "Oh yeah, there is we are now in the last stages, the last few epochs of human existence, and we're now going to be a part of Armageddon, and there's a lot of spiritual decay." I can just imagine all this. And the Catholic Church is there to validate all that. But an exorcist hotline. I could just imagine that. I don't know. That's really weird. Uh, maybe. Maybe there is such a thing as exorcism. I mean, how could you call these people if you're being possessed by the devil? I mean, how is that possible? I don't know. I could just imagine that conversation. You know? Ay ay ay. Hello, Exorcist Hotline. This is Monsignor Macrilione. How can I help you today? Your mother blows next in hell. You must be inquiring about our exorcist services. Go to hell and blow Satan's dick. I mean, if you're under the spirit of Satan, can you remember the hotline number? I don't know if you can. Yeah. Is that like a toll-free number, or is that? I bet they charge, because they're not gonna let people just waltz in and. Like, if you're possessed by a demon here in the U.S., can you call them? I don't know. Maybe the article might say something about that. And I wonder what kind of operators work in that hotline. Yeah, it's probably other priests. Hello, Exorcist Hotline. This is Priest Margileone. Hi, Priest. This is Antonito, and I have a demon that is behind me. Okay. What is he doing behind you? I don't know. He's putting his penis in my anus. Okay, he's putting his penis on your anus. Now, look back and tell me, how big is his penis? But shouldn't I do some Hail Marys to get him? No, look and tell me, how big is the penis? I think it's like really big. It's a 9 inches big, uncut. Oh, really? Oh, tell me, how does the demon look like? Why don't I come over, my son, and I will help you undress, and we can exercise together and get rid of those demons. Yeah, I mean, of course there are going to be pedophiles on this hotline. What do you expect? It's a fucking Catholic church. I mean, how can anybody work in this? I mean, like, if you work at a Exorcist hotline, like, is that something that you want to talk about while you're on a date? Oh, where do you work at? Oh, I work at the Exorcist hotline. We deliver people from the demons that they are being possessed by. I just want to say that, I've seen a lot of freaky shit going on. I seen people possessed, supposedly, by, I don't know, evil forces. But I seen them cured, if you want to call them, if we can say that. Cured by people that are not priests, these white magic or magicians or psychics, whatever. They come in and they do some weird, voodoo shit, and then they get rid of the whatever's being possessing them. But I don't know. I mean, maybe that might be true, but I don't think they're demons. I think there's something in the air. I don't know. Something's going on. I seen people really possessed. Not only on television or on videos and all that and reports, but I seen people in real life that are being possessed. But I don't know if it's really true. I'm not really sure. I know some of you might say it's not true, Jose. It cannot be. But look, I've seen it myself. But here's the thing, though, because I've done a lot of research on the Catholic Church. They've delved into this black magic stuff and all these things, I wouldn't be surprised if the Catholic Church, the hierarchy of the Catholic Church, they were the ones that, through spells or whatever, they got these demons to possess people, I don't know. For what reason? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the cause of all these possessions. And if you look at this news article, which is very interesting, talks about how in Italy there's been a lot of this demonic possessions, and priests have to perform these exorcisms. So, but here in America and in Mexico and all these other areas, what's really interesting is that you see a lot of these possessions going on in highly Catholic areas. Like in Mexico, there's a lot of this shit happens in Mexico. It's a Catholic country. But Italy being the most Catholic of all in Europe, I would assume that. In Poland also, you see this happening. It's another Catholic country. There are a lot of people possessed. Whether it is an actual spiritual possession, I don't know what it is, but something weird is happening that is making people behave really strange. And some of them end up really, being all freaked out, or, they're fucking lunatics, I don't know, throwing up green vomit and their heads are spinning around. No, I haven't seen that. Although I've seen vomit before, not green vomit, just regular vomit. And diarrhea, of a girl shitting her panties, I seen that in Mexico. But no, we didn't have a Exorcist hotline. In fact, the priest, I remember that they called the priest. I had a relative of mine who, she had a daughter, and her daughter was somehow acting weird at age 11, and then by age 13, she was what we can say possessed. She was totally incapacitated in the bed, like the Exorcist girl on the movie. It was totally like that, but she didn't have her head spin, or she wasn't flying in the air or anything like that. She wasn't crawling up in the ceiling. Yeah. But she was being, she was speaking in tongues. I know that. But when I got there and I witnessed what was happening, I didn't hear any tongue or any foreign languages that were being spoken. But the priest refused to show up. Try to call a priest over to do, I don't know, something. And he's like, no, I can't do that. I have to call another priest down, I don't know, somewhere else. Basically, he said, shut the fuck up, you know. And finally, I don't know what happened. I guess because I left before they tried to fix it, to cure her from this. But they got this Native American, or we can say, or Indian, Mexican, that he was a shaman or something, that was able to do some spiritual rituals, and somehow that cured her. I don't know what happened. Neither do her parents, and now this girl, now I think she's 20 something. I think she's healthy now, normal, but she went through a tough time. I don't know what it was. Some people said in my family, oh, she was possessed by a demon. I'm like, I don't know. We can't really say that. Although, something strange did happen, because when I was there, I felt kind of weird too. I felt weird when I entered the house. I mean, they had this really old house. It was built in 1907 or something like that, and Durango, Mexico. It was one of those old houses that was next to a former church. Now it's like, I don't know what it is. It's a museum or something, I don't know. But they lived, right next to it. And, when I came, it was a hot day during the summer. And when I went into the house, went in through the living room, it got colder and colder. And then when I went to the room, because because I'm the only one with a college degree, they thought that I was gonna fix this. They thought that I was gonna be able to talk to the girl and see what was going on. And I said, well, did you call a doctor first? Because I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist. But they did, and they couldn't figure out what was wrong with her. I mean, they did some blood tests and all of that, and they put her on what is it? A CAT scan. Nothing turned up. She was perfectly normal in that sense. But she was totally whacked. I mean, she was screaming and yelling and saying things and cussing out her mom. And she didn't recognize who I was, although, she knew who I was before. But during that event, she couldn't recognize me. But that was totally weird. That was one of my weird... I have many weird experiences in my young life. Especially when I go to Mexico, I have these weird experiences. But I'll talk about them later on. But this is, I don't know about this hotline. I mean, I don't know, because the Catholic Church in Mexico is not really that serious over there. Every time you bring up exorcism, they go like, what? We don't know nothing about that. Oh, but, yeah, they love to play with little kids, don't they? And sometimes they actually use this demon possession issue, like they use it to scare kids. Hey, you better not do this, you better not do that, or else the demon's gonna come in, the devil's gonna come in and take over your body, like what happened to so-and-so. And I don't think that was the case, because, that girl, that cousin of mine, she was, a nice girl. I mean, she didn't fool around, she wasn't a whore or, a scarlet, whatever. She was basically herself. I mean, she was a normal girl until I don't know what happened. Her brother says she made a pact with Satan. They believe that. I don't, but it was interesting to see it, though. But no, I didn't witness the exorcism, because they weren't. They brought over this Indian shaman, a witch doctor, and he basically cured her. I don't know what he did, but I guess maybe it was an exorcism, but from a different religion, if you want to say that. But anyway, that is the hotline for exorcism. That's pretty stupid. Who are you gonna call? The Vatican. Fuck that.